You know, one thing I don't understand is why are we shutting down these military schools when we need them to help our kids? You know, if they don't have funding in one way, they usually can find it in another. And it concerns me to see schools like How Military Academy being closed down, especially when they're so important to the traditions of our country. You know, we use these schools in order to train kids, and eventually some of them become officers and do some pretty spectacular things within our government. So, you know, it would stand a chance that we should keep these schools running, you know, and we used to provide them with federal funding. What happened to all of that? We also used to use these schools along with our military in order to promote criminal reform. You know, you had somebody who committed a non-violent crime that needed something different that therapy and regular justice reform couldn't offer them. Sometimes people need a bunch of push-ups in order to get them straight because everything else they've tried just hasn't worked. That's real talk. We need to do some serious reform within our education system and start thinking more smartly about how we deal with some of these delinquent kids. That's real talk. You know, back in my day when I acted up, they put a lawnmower on me and I had to go push that sucker around until I got my thought process back again. Imagine that. I think that, you know, not much has changed where teenagers are concerned nowadays. So I think it'd be really good if we tried to do that again because it worked. So why did we change it? And why are they closing military schools when we need them? Because we know that military schools and that type of curriculum straightens kids up. Imagine that. They've got much more success coming from military academies than they ever did from the public schools, according to the ratios. Imagine that. Some things to think about here, huh? And you know, I want what they got in the military schools and our public schools under the 14th Amendment and the Equal Treatment Under the Law Act. Because it works, people. And you know, according to my religion of Christianity, I want this under the First Amendment, Article 19, because you know, I believe in reforming kids because they're our future. See how that goes? It's a Christian thing. Imagine that. Also, it's also a health issue as well because if you get these kids straightened out, it affects their health in the long run, which means we can also apply the Right to Try Act to it too. And these kids are usually that wind up in these schools are in trouble. You know, not all of them. Some of them are sent there for preventative measures as well. So, you know, we need to assert our Fifth Amendment right also to let me see, which one should we ask for this? Due process, maybe? Equal treatment is the 14th Amendment, but you know, there's also injustices too. So when a kid's not being treated right, it's an injustice to not send them to a military school. Imagine that. Have a blessed day.